Ontario Human Rights Code violation. The only time that they do anything to support marginalized communities is when we have to literally sue them. We can shout, we can scream, it doesn't matter. Only if they are told by the law that they need to support us will they start instituting training and then pretend that we never actually had any problems to begin with. They're just doing that to be nice. It's only after a hate attack at Pride where the police were just fumbling around for hours that they then allocate $600,000 to what? A report. They allocate $80,000 on a hate mitigation survey. When we already know that our communities, less than 10% of them have reported their own instances of discrimination, harassment, and violence. They say that hate crimes are down. Who here believes that? I don't. They say that they can't defund. That's a lie too. Community organizations are tired of begging for scraps. We're tired of having to be both activists and social ambulances.
We are very proud and pleased to be here today, standing with friends and organizers of this excellent event, to say that the police is a racist, colonial institution that deepens class inequality and prevents real democracy and community care from flourishing. We need to defund the police and reinvest in our communities. And when we say that the police can't be reformed, that they need to be defunded and dismantled, we're not just talking about the most obviously brutal, disgusting police violence and corruption. I mean, absolutely, shame on cops.
Try to keep ourselves up high. There's no reason why we give up on paradise. We dance the night away. We don't have to break the chain. Darling, please just do what you need. I don't have to explain.
So I got a quick chant. It goes like this. Get those animals off them horses. Get those animals off them horses. Get those animals off those horses. Get those animals off those horses. Okay. You guys want to do a next one? I don't know. It's up to you. Okay, so this one is Fun to Babylon. Okay. It goes like this. Fun the Babylon. Black people are the bomb. But the Babylon. Black people are the bomb. Oh, okay. Y'all don't got that. Y'all don't got that type of energy. All right. What do you guys think that the city should be doing with its money as opposed to fueling the over-militarization of police? I mean, you guys can see the over-surveillance. Look at the horses. Look at the 50,000 bikes we've seen ride by. I mean, they're over in their sniper positions. Y'all see that one? Yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, at least they're not looking down from the windows like they were last time. You know, it probably would have been less money than bringing out the horses that they never really used in the first place. But I mean, who knows? Our next speaker
is Sarah Adjacum.
There's questions for there for us to review as she's speaking. Thank you so much to Sarah Adjicum. Sarah is a community member, educator, and researcher with a background in social work who is passionate about social justice. She's engaged in activism around poverty, racism, and social inequality. So without further ado, everyone, could you please put your hands together for Sarah Adjicum.
So I want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for coming to this event, and a huge thank you to the organizers as well. Can we put a round of applause for them? So I'm going to start off by acknowledging we're on the traditional lands of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas, and their continued displacement and experiences of violence by police make these kinds of conversations all the more pressing. I also want to thank you guys for being here at this teaching. My name is Sarah, and I'm speaking with you guys today as both a community member, an organizer, and on behalf of the Sexual Assault Center of Hamilton area. I've lived in Hamilton all of my life, and I love this city. And I know that all of you are here today as well because you love this city and because you care deeply about the kinds of conversations that are happening here. So I'm mindful of the fact that in many ways I am preaching to the choir a bit. But I also want you to think about who isn't here today. The people who are on the fence, who see this issue as something to be curious about, but aren't sure what the right course of action is. And the people who see these conversations about defunding the police and abolition as a threat. My hope is that from this teaching you will be somewhat better equipped to pull people into this conversation so that we can actually work towards meaningful change. Now, this conversation about defunding the police is presently being framed in ways that are really meant to discourage and stifle conversation about our options moving forward. It has been framed as about blue lives versus black lives, as if blue lives are a thing. The rowdy left versus City Hall and the police, about social justice warriors versus the status quo. And all of this is kind of deceptive. This conversation is about addressing a system that is racist and inadequate and flawed. It's about addressing how policing and prisons have been used as a band-aid solution for burgeoning social issues such as homelessness, poverty, violence against women, and racism. And most importantly, it is an opportunity for us to transform our approach to crime and social issues. So when we speak about defunding the police, alarms go off in people's minds. What does it mean to defund an institution that has become ubiquitous for managing crime and mental health and crisis response, resource officers in schools, and traffic? For starters, defunding the police is about reforming present practices so that experts in public health and social issues are better positioned to respond to these issues. Contrary to popular belief, police do not prevent crime. They respond to crime. Many of the past police practices that we're familiar with and that have been normalized have been focused on a strong-handed and punitive approach in hopes that that would deter crime. But we know that things are a lot more complicated in practice.
In June, Chad Collins put forward a motion to review the implications of a 20% reduction in the police budget. The report presented to the police board today is under 2 pages, inadequately informed, and quite frankly, does not address the concerns that community members have brought forward. The report states that a 20% reduction will amount to a $34.3 million service out.
This report mentions that a 20% budget cut would mean that police can't effectively run their service. It means that frontline patrolling would be one of the services impacted by this cut. What is the actual use of frontline patrolling? Police do not come out to intervene in the root causes of violence taking place. They escalate violence and criminalize those who are implicated. So let's see how frontline patrolling has affected Hamilton. During this pandemic, Hamilton police were ticketing unhoused people in downtown Hamilton for not physically distancing. Former police chief Glenn DeCare introduced the action team in which they were involved in openly practicing racial profiling. The action team has a history of falsely targeting unhoused and racialized people, which was never acknowledged even after the ticket scandal in 2015. Finally, on page 95, it discusses the body camera and a review of potential pilot for Hamilton Police. In the past, the HPS have voted against body cameras because they considered the financial impact of cameras, and there wasn't any conclusive evidence to prove their efficiency. Hamilton Police hit the nail on the head with this. Body cameras do not prevent police violence. They require the HPS to increase their budget. To prevent police violence, you have to defund the police. To build strong communities, we have to invest in strong communities. Every social service sector in the city continues to be defunded. Why are there no concerns about the lack of supports for unhoused people, or people accessing ODSP or OW, or the lack of funding towards mental health services in the city, or the underfunding of public transportation? Police and prisons have served to break up and destabilize communities, taking people out of their communities and compromising support systems. By taking funds from policing, we could pour these funds back into strong, self-sufficient communities.
To be clear, the community is calling for a full defunding of the Hamilton Police and a reallocation of those funds into the community. Our demands are as follows.
We are asking for an immediate 20% reduction in the police budget. We know that this is possible, and this is the only way forward. We are demanding that the Hamilton Police do not move forward with a pilot program for body cameras. Body cameras do not keep us safe. Body cameras will allot more money to an already inflated police budget. We demand that the Hamilton Police delete all personal health information they access through the COVID database.
No, human rights. I'm talking about human rights. My human right to leave my house. My human right to my own medical autonomy.
But they're back now, right?
My human right... Say again?
They're back now. Whatever was gone is back now.
No, they're not.
What? You left your house. That was what you stated to me that you couldn't do.
Yeah, okay. But legally,
But you're out here.
how many people are breaking this 6-foot social distancing rule?
Oh, that's what I find hilarious about this whole gathering.
I still think it's every gathering. There's every protest, every rally, every party. You know, you like to party?